What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Folks, we have ourselves an update coming up next week, very soon, right before Christmas time, and it's a very big one because it is going to change the landscape of how the game is viewed, how the game is played, with a new combat system, brand new character with a new class called the Infuser, I believe is what they're calling it. Could change. And plus we have ourselves another national level hunter dropping with that class, of course, and not to mention we have the commish story and a lot more. So let's talk a little bit about what to expect in the future. We've done a video about it already, plus what you need to do before the actual release of this character, and why this character is going to be important, and why you may consider this being the new future of the game in regards to combat system. I'm going to kind of break down the combat system a little bit for you guys as well too, and kind of explain what the role of these characters are going to be and why they're going to play in a very pivotal role that you guys want to probably be a part of, just in case they're going to break the game with these characters. So let's talk a little bit about that first. But before I do that, as usual, guys, the content creator program is going on right now. I want to say big shout out to all my top 10 and everybody supporting, almost down to the last 2,600 members. Let's get there. I want to say big shout out to everybody who's been supporting for all of this time, and all the new supporters. Thank you for always being here. Remember, if you are part of my Discord and you are a supporter, please get yourself into the giveaways. It's $100 to anyone who's a supporter, $150 to my top 100, and $200 to my number one, which in this case has been BW Panda for the last 3 seasons. Gonna send us money today, actually. So shout out to my boy. Thank you so much, guys. And obviously everybody else who's been supporting. Love you guys so much. JSO Deeps, everybody on this list. Guys, much love to you. And thank you for the constant support. New codes are going to be sent your way very soon. I've already been sending the existing one. Another one should be on its way very soon, as soon as Netmarble provides it. So let's talk a little bit about the new class. Now, if you guys did not check out the Korean live stream, you should definitely go back and check it out. We have ourselves a new class coming out called the Infuser, and the first Infuser that's going to bring that into play is going to be Christopher Reed. Now, what does that mean? Is he a DPS? Is he a support? What kind of role does an Infuser play? Well, an Infuser actually kind of plays like almost a hat of both supporter and DPS. The only thing they don't do is they don't break. So if you check out this video right here, you guys can see this is part of the Korean live stream. So the Infuser is going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be a DPS class that or a support class that will provide you the ability to quickly do something called overload. Now, what is the purpose of overload? Well, overload over here, you can see here, it's going to be a mechanic that allows you to do more damage to a opponent with your elemental abilities. So here's what it's going to look like. It's called Elemental Charge. That's the new ability. You guys can see Christopher Reed right here has a bar, and once that bar is full, he transforms, and right over here you'll see a percentage, right? You can see the percentage right there going to 69, 71. When it reaches 100%, you're going to see a giant word pop up on the screen called overload, and it's not a break mechanic. You guys can see the break bar in fact is still there, but you can see the word overload pops in. This number now goes from 100% to a time interval right there, 14 seconds. Gives you roughly about 15 seconds to do overall more elemental damage to this opponent, and this is meant to be to amplify the amount of damage you do with your elements. That is the purpose of an Infuser. So what makes an Infuser different than everybody else? So everybody can provide you, from what it seems like, everybody can provide you this bar. The difference is how fast will the bar accumulate, how much more damage will you do in a bar when the overload is finally there, and how long will this stick around for. Now, we've seen the original video where Alicia Blanche does actually provide infuse as well, or elemental charge as well. We'll call it elemental charge, but she doesn't do it quite as quickly. So what Christopher's role essentially is going to be, guys, is to provide you guys as much of this as possible, which will help you do more damage overall as a team, right? So what you want to do with the Infuser essentially is bring the full elemental team to that fight. So that doesn't mean bring in, like, you know, one fire unit only. You're gonna have to at least most likely take advantage of it, bring 3 of the same element. So that's kind of the goal, guys, and they're really meant to amplify, again, damage on opponents without break bars. So when you do this, your team is still going to have to consist of a breaker, a DPS. Now, though, what you can do instead of having a support, because they kind of play, again, all 3 hats except for the breaker part, is they're going to play DPS, Infuser, and support kind of for you, right? So I think Christopher Reed is going to be a replacement, an indirect replacement for Gina because of this new feature that's being implemented. So how does this kind of change the landscape of the game, and where does this going to take into effect? So really where you're going to see the biggest impacts for this kind of game mode is going to be for bosses like Dvorka, bosses without break bars, especially bosses like Guild Boss, POD, all of this. You're going to see the numbers very, very shortly skyrocket. Numbers you've probably never seen before are going to now exist because of this new infusion. So what does that mean for you as a player? I know a lot of people are saying, hey, we're going to skip Christopher Reed. That's fine. You can absolutely skip Christopher Reed if you don't want to get an infuser. But guess what? Everybody coming down the pipe for the next year, we're going to have infusers littered all over the place, right? So we have infusers with Christopher Reed. We have the next infuser, which the rumors are maybe changing to dark because we made such a big fuss, which is Igris. Guys, don't take that to heart yet. That's not an official thing. It's a leak saying that the source may provide alpha with something. I'm not talking about it yet because, again, I don't have the information in front of me and I don't want to say something that is going to be incorrect, but there may be a possibility, that he may become a dark infuser rather than wind, which is what everyone was complaining about, including myself. So I mean, if they make that change, fantastic. If they don't, it is what it is. He's still going to be an infuser, maybe infuser breaker. So we may see infusers have more than that DPS role. We may see them come back as a support. We may see them come back as a breaker. We may see them come back as a DPS, right? So we may see different roles again for each different kind of breaker. So keep that in mind when you're deciding who you want to go for. So infusers are going to be the future of this game. Infusion itself as a whole is probably going to be the future of this game. It looks like the way they're changing combat is they want people to focus on amplifying their elemental damage as much as possible. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but the new element also for the newest shadow also has elemental damage increase, right? So it looks like elemental damage increase may be something that they're going to provide for future shadows as well too, because that focus is now shifting from just pure DPS to now focusing on elements as well. All right, so now that we've kind of discussed that, Kamish is coming out. I'm assuming Christopher Reed's going to play a pretty big role against Kamish in terms of doing amount of damage and getting yourself fully set up for that. And not to mention, he's probably going to play a big role in the overall upcoming WOBL as well too. Keep that in mind if fire is in fact going to be it, or at least for this WOBL when it comes down to getting yourself through the POS 20 version of it. Okay, so that's gonna be a big one. And not to mention, guys, a couple things you need to finish before the new update. So the new library, Forbidden Library, make sure you get that done. Make sure all your simulation tickets are obviously out of the way. And also don't forget, guys, the Architect's Test, which gives you a plethora amount of essence stones plus other things, needs to also be completed before the reset is over. So make sure, guys, if you have not done so, do that. All right, the new role is going to be big. It's going to play a big part of the new structure of the game, I think. So if you are confused on what the role is, hopefully this gave you a pretty decent explanation of what they plan to do with this and why it's important for you as a player to kind of invest in these roles before it's too late and you don't miss out on some of the bigger things that are happening down the pipe, which are changing the game's landscape and how combat is going to be structured and how combat is going to be played. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget to do that. I'm doing this on auto real quick while I talk. I usually do these on auto to get it done. Cerberus might actually kill my guys. Damn, this guy he already killed my Cha. So guys, please remember to like, subscribe, leave the notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.